Good afternoon, everyone. It's just after noon. Frigid temperatures and icy roads. It's a travel nightmare, and it's not just on the streets. The Midland International Air and Spaceport is just now opening up. As you can imagine, with all of the cancellations and delays, there's some frustrated passengers. Stephen Pepper joins us live to get us updated on the flight situation. Stephen.
Yeah, guys, here at MAF, while the conditions may be severe on the outside, inside still semi-operational. Now, not as many flights scheduled as normal, but if you take a look at the board here, American Airlines, Southwest, they have some canceled departures and arrivals. But if you take a look, United, every single flight is on time to Denver, Houston, despite the conditions and the participation. Now, earlier today, I got the chance to speak with one flyer. She's from South Dakota. She's taking the United flight to Denver, and she says that she's praying that she doesn't get stuck here overnight. Now, moments ago, TSA opened up, so there are some people coming in here and checking their bags on either one of these United flights. So again, while the conditions may be severe on the outside, on the inside here at MAF, United is still operational. TSA is still checking people in. Back to you.
Thanks, Stephen. Well, now let's go to the roads where the ice is piling up. As the day goes on, it's going to get more dangerous. Truck drivers know that all too well. That's why they're parking at truck stops all over town, and they plan to stay put. Many of them told us they have deliveries this weekend, but with the icy road conditions, they're not taking any chances. It's not just for their safety. They're looking out for other drivers, too.
Safety first out here on the road. I don't want to have an accident. I don't want to hurt anybody or injure anybody on the road, so I'm staying put. You know, I talked to my wife. She was like, hey, pull that truck over and stay safe, and that's what I'm doing, man.
I care about my safety. I care about safety of other people, and I don't want something bad happen. And I called my broker and let them know, and just we're going to wait the right moment to deliver. Probably, hopefully by the Monday, we're going to be at the Dallas.
You heard right. They may be stuck here all weekend. That's because we're expecting the road conditions to get worse overnight. Well, if you don't have to get on the roads, officials say stay at home. Andy, what are we looking at as we head later into the afternoon?
We're starting to see a little bit of that activity pick up, especially further north and east. A lot of us are having a bit of a lull right now, just to bitterly cold temperatures and the very dangerous travel conditions out there. As Crystal said, if you don't really have to be outdoors, I would just highly advise against it. Otherwise, a lot of us are into the single digits in teens out the door. We are trending just a touch colder with those temperatures, which helped bring in a little bit more sleet just a bit earlier across into the Permian Basin. But I do anticipate we're going to have another wave of activity as we head into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Winter storm remains in effect across the Permian Basin for those threat of the moderate to heavy ice and snow accumulations we have been seeing. That's going to be in effect heading into about Sunday afternoon. Otherwise, extreme cold warning across the Permian Basin for those wind chills 4 below possible as we go throughout the remainder of today, mostly really into those morning hours where it's going to be quite frigid. Cold weather advisory for our southern counties for those wind chills as low as 7 degrees above zero. Otherwise, out the door, I just would not want to get out the door. 15 out into Midland feels like a -2. If your skin gets exposed to those dangerous cold temperatures, you can get hypothermia in around 30 to 45 minutes. So I would just highly advise against it. We're around 12 degrees into La Mesa. Otherwise, on top of that, we do have a little bit of fog out there, and especially where temperatures are at freezing, this is more of kind of a freezing fog. It can add to additional ice accumulations on those slick surfaces, especially those roads and also those bridges and overpasses. We have that haze out into Big Spring. We're around 5-mile visibility. Denser out into near areas of Alpine, we're around 0-mile visibility. Otherwise, when it comes to precipitation, we have a bit of drier air mixing in. Not seeing too much into near areas of Midland and Odessa, but more further into near areas of southeastern Mexico. We're getting reports of already some sleet, which is kind of what this pink color is, but we are slowly beginning to transition into some snow out into near areas of Hobbs. So if you are in that direction, feel free to send us your pictures and let us know what you're seeing. A bit more of that kind of sleet pushing into near areas of Big Lake as well, into Crockett County and over into near Ira End. But otherwise, most of us, it's just rather dry and bone chilly out the door. With this, when we at least take a look at the last 12 hours, this is more so looking at what liquid fell from the sky when it comes to rain totals, in which we did have a good, decent amount of rain. There was even some small flooded areas yesterday, but a lot of this rain did end up freezing over those roads and creating even more slick conditions on top of the freezing rain. So as we go throughout the remainder of the day, I do anticipate we'll start to see a little bit more activity pick up as we head into around 3 to 6 p.m. With that, into new portions of New Mexico, we're going to start transitioning more into snow as we go throughout much of the afternoon. Out in your areas of Big Spring, Lamesa, Andrews for the northern Permian Basin, we'll start to get a little bit of that snow heading into the late evening hours around 11 p.m. to about 1 a.m. Out to near Midland and Odessa, that'll be around 12 a.m. when we'll start to get to see a little bit of that snow as well. Further, at least into the later portions of the evening into tomorrow morning for the I-10, I-20 split out into near areas of Alpine, Sanderson, south of the I-20 corridor. I think we're going to stick with a little bit more of that freezing rain, transitioning into that sleet more dominantly with areas of the Presidio Valley, which is going to stick with mostly a cold rain. Taking to around 12 p.m., pushing into around 5 p.m., we'll see that wave of energy from the west pushing more eastward as we go throughout much of the day. Into our northern counties, we'll see a bit more of that snow transition, otherwise a bit more of a mix with those kind of sleet pellets across the Permian Basin, along into near areas south of I-10 and along the I-10 corridor. We'll have waves of energy, especially further eastbound if you are having any family members into that direction, but we'll have this wave of energy from the west, see a big wave of snow as we head into around the midnight hours tonight. I think it's going to be predominantly snow, especially north of the I-20 corridor. I think with this, I think that's when we'll start to be able to pick up a little bit more of the snow accumulations. This is what it could look like around 4 a.m. on Sunday, taking to around 7 a.m. Start to see a little bit of snow pushing into near areas of the I-10 to I-20 split. Otherwise, activity will begin to move out as we go in throughout much of the late morning into the early afternoon hours. Otherwise, after all things are said and done, after this precipitation moves out, I think along into the eastern portions of the Permian Basin could get still upwards of a ½ an inch of icing alongside a bit more of a light glaze, especially further north where that snow is going to transition just a little bit earlier. So a lot of us are falling into that moderate category, leading to more of those few power outages alongside creating those dangerous travel conditions. So if you don't have to travel, I would just advise against it. When it comes to snow further north, it's going to be the best opportunity north of I-20. Around ½ an inch to 2.5 inches of snow look to be possible, mostly into near areas of southeastern Mexico, especially along into near Eddy and Lee County. 3 to 6 inches of snow look possible, especially up into the Guadalupe Mountains. Warming up to 25 on Sunday, going to be very close to freezing, going to be at 32 on Monday, warming up to 40s and 50s throughout the remainder of the week.
Andy, thanks. Well, it is brutally cold outside. If your heater isn't working, your power's out, or you just don't have a way to stay warm, a warming shelter at the Ector County Coliseum is open. Corey McIntyre joins us now with what you can expect when you get there.
Hello, West Texas. I hope you're staying warm out there. I am currently standing in front of Barn A of Ector County Coliseum, which is currently being used as a warming shelter. Now, with freezing temps such as these, things can go wrong quickly. Now, if you lose electricity or heat, you're highly encouraged to come down to the Coliseum. The shelter has water, pop-up beds, pillows, blankets, snacks, entertainment, and most importantly, heat. No matter who you are or where you come from, everyone is welcome. And it appears that the community is beyond grateful.
Man, it came in to save me and my buddy Donnie's life, because you can't get a lot of these guys in some of the other shelters, the ones that have been around for a little while, because you get people in those that they're not there for the right reasons, and so you get the disagreement. So having something like this come up when it's going to be 7 degrees outside high tonight, it really is amazing.
Freezing temperatures are expected to last through Monday morning, and the shelter will remain open during that time. If you need transportation, Ector County is offering free rides 24/7. Just call 432-335-3535. For more information, visit newswest9.com. Reporting in Odessa, I'm Corey McIntyre.
And over in Midland, True Light Christian Fellowship is now open through Monday at noon. They're at 3001 North A Street. The church is opening its fellowship hall. They'll be serving meals and have a place for you to sleep. The Salvation Army in Odessa and Midland, they're running 24/7. The one in Midland is on East Wall Street. They'll be offering meals and a place to stay overnight. Well, a lot of places are closed down. If you want to see the full list of closures, head to our website, newswest9.com. We are constantly updating the page to include schools and business that'll be closed because of the weather. If you know of a business or that would like to send us their notice that they're not open today or they're closing early, just be sure to send it to us. Just give us an email at news@newswest9.com. Meanwhile, News West 9 is your go-to weather headquarters for this wintry weather. Be sure to download our News West 9 Plus app to make sure you know the latest about our weather warnings. Just scan that QR code on your screen with your phone, download it off the Apple Store or Google Play for free. Well, it is brutally cold outside, as we said earlier today. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on, and stick with us here on Facebook, online, and of course our web pages and our app. We will see you in a couple of hours.